Okay, guys, good day, good day to you all. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel. Thanks for being here. Right, just again, my apologies for the lack of output. In recent times, I have been experiencing some challenges, and again, right now, I can't do a live right now. Trying my best to put out videos, but it's very difficult at this point in time. So, please asking you guys to bear with us. Thanks for the patience, and thanks for those who have reached out to me, asking me, just how they're not seeing me in this important time. They very much appreciated, guys. So I just want to, you guys see the banner at the end of your screen. I just want to talk about this a little bit, right? Of course, right now, the Mikel Antonio show, is fast approaching, right? The Mikel Antonio show, right? You see the banner at the end of your screen? Is the best number 9 in the world right now a reggae boy? Right, we'll be talking a little bit about that, and also where will Mikel Antonio play for Jamaica versus Panama, right? Or where would we want him to play versus Panama, right? The best number 9 in the world right now, is it a reggae boy? Is it Mikel Antonio, right? I mean, right now Mikel Antonio is second in the goal scoring charts in Europe, right? In the top 5 leagues in Europe. He is, in terms of top goal scorer so far, in the top 5 leagues in Europe. He is second only to Robert Lewandowski in terms of goals, right? Robert Lewandowski is on 5 goals. Mikel is on 4, right? Mikel is number 1 in goal contributions, right? For strikers in top 5 leagues in Europe right now, Mikel Antonio has 7 goal contributions in his 3 games so far this season, and he is second in assists behind Paul Pogba in the Premier League. So right now, Mikel Antonio is absolutely on fire. Do I think he's the best number 9 in the world right now, based on current form? In my opinion, yes. I think an argument can be made for Mikel Antonio right now being the best number 9 in the world right now. We're not talking about generally speaking. We're not talking about, overall career or whatever the case may be. We're talking about on form right now since the start of the season, right? In my opinion, Mikel Antonio is in world-class form, right? Again, he is leading the Premier League in goals, second in assists, leading in goal contributions, right? Is Mikel Antonio a world-class player? That's another question we can ask ourselves given his current form and his relatively good form over the last 2 going 3 seasons right now. Is he a world-class player? In my opinion, the answer to that is no. Does he have world-class talent? I do believe the player has world-class talent in him, right? Is he currently on world-class form? Absolutely. Right now, his form is world-class. Who knows, if he keeps this up for the entirety of the season, we might very well have to call him an out-and-out world-class player, right? I do believe that the player has world-class talent in him. Last season, he would have played 26 games, scored 10 goals, registering 5 assists, 15 goal contributions in 26 games. That's a goal contribution in a game point odd. Not even in 2 games, a game point odd. The season before that, 10 goals, 3 assists in 24 games, 13 goal contributions in 24 games. A goal contribution every game point odd. Not even every 2 games, every game point odd, right? That's incredible stuff, man. That is incredible. I think that he has world-class talent. I personally think that the injuries, right, have prevented him from achieving his full potential. Like, for instance, there has been a constant break in his play, so to speak. Not really as long and as consistent a run as games as his counterpart strikers in Europe because of the injuries. Again, you see 24 games, you see 26 games, nowhere near completing a full season, right? So I think the constant breaks in play for him, even last season, right? If memory serves right, he didn't start the season immediately, and then even in the season he had a break again because of another injury. So was it 2 breaks or 1 break last season? I don't recall, but you guys know the history of Mikel Antonio, right? So because he doesn't have that consistent run of games as much as his counterparts, I think that is an issue that has prevented him from achieving world-class status. And also his injury status, or his injury-prone status, will put off bigger clubs, right? And when you play for bigger clubs and you do well in bigger clubs, it enhances your chances of getting world-class status or a world-class label attached to you, right? So I think that bigger clubs would have been put off from, buying a Mikel Antonio, for instance, because the player is so injury-prone. And then again, the player, and this is a blessing for us, but not a blessing particularly for Mikel, his injury-prone ways would affect his chances, or would have affected his chances with the England national team as well, one of the best national teams in the world, right? And if he had played a number of games for England and done well, that would have helped him to achieve world-class status in football as well, right? Another big thing that we need to talk about is, what does he bring to the national team, right? He brings strength, he brings pace, he brings power to our national team, right? A focal point up front, right? Can come deep, right? Good hold up and link up play, right? Very good in tight spaces, right? He's often double teamed even for West Ham. So imagine how double teamed he will be in CONCACAF. We see a trend where the bigger players in CONCACAF are double team. You guys remember what took place with Leon Bailey in the Gold Cup, right? So, that's also something that he brings to the our national team as well, given his status and his stature and his quality. We can look for him being double teamed and creating space for other players around him and doing well in that double team as well, because he does so very well in tight spaces and breaks lines very well and eludes or evades pressure very well as well, right? Extremely good in breaking the lines, right? Very good in taking players on 1v1, very direct, good touch, generally speaking, good touch on the dribble, right? Very direct, right? Going past defenders is a strength of his as well. So, and arguably, and this is to the double team point as well, he is arguably the best player in CONCACAF. Arguably. Still think it's Antonio Davis. Not Antonio Davis, sorry. My boy from Canada, Alphonso Davis, rather, talking foolishness about Antonio Davis, right? I think Alphonso Davis is the best in Canada, but an argument can be made for Mikel Antonio, right? Being one of the, well, he's certainly one of the best players in CONCACAF, no doubt, right? And definitely an argument can be made for him being definitely the best talent in CONCACAF. An argument can be made for that. As I said, I think the player has world-class talent and potential. I just think the injuries have, in my opinion, significantly limited him from achieving that potential. Another thing we want to talk about with, Mikel Antonio, right? And, us eagerly anticipating the upcoming Mikel Antonio show versus Panama, right? Where will he or where should he play versus Panama, right? And of course, this all depends on Theodore Tapper Whitmore and what Theodore Tapper Whitmore wants from him, right? You know, Mikel can play through the middle, right? Or he can play out wide. Who knows? Tapper will probably want Mikel Antonio out wide because he'll probably want Kemar Roof on the pitch at the same time, right? Playing through the middle, right? Or he could put Roof out wide and play, you know, Antonio through the middle, or he could play them in a front two, right? I want to talk a little bit about what the wide play might look like, right? With Mikel Antonio playing out wide for the Reggae Boys. Earlier in the season, if memory serves right, it was the first game against Newcastle. We saw him drifting out wide a lot in the first half of that game, right? And he was putting in a lot of crosses into the box, right? For players making forward runs into the Newcastle box, right? We also saw him dragging players out wide. Now, if he plays centrally and drifts out wide, he will drag players out wide with him, right? Or if he plays out wide, he will also drag players out wide because you're talking about double team. You're talking about him, you know, beating a player in a 1v1 situation, highly likely, right? And hence, you know, the center back, right, having to come and engage with him. All of this will create space in the middle for other players to operate, right? And we know what space can do and how dangerous space is, right? And especially in CONCACAF, as I said, we see a trend with the double team for top players in CONCACAF, right? Again, Leon Bailey in the Gold Cup is a perfect example, right? And again, good in wide areas, good from the standpoint of providing width, right? Good from the standpoint of beating players in 1v1 situations, getting in behind the defensive line, right? And, you know, just creating havoc down the flanks, man, right? We know what this player can do, man. You know, he can whip good crosses into the box as well. We saw a couple good crosses into the box from Mikel Antonio in the first half against Newcastle United of that first English Premier League game, right? Theodore Tapper Whitmore could also want him to play in the half spaces, right, and be a goal threat in those half spaces, like, for instance, what we see Mohamed Salah doing with Liverpool, right? What Klopp does a lot with Mohamed Salah and Amani at Liverpool, right? And again, man, putting crosses into the box, a clinical Kemar Roof, right? In the box, getting on the end of those crosses, right? Whether low crosses, whether short crosses, you know, any type of cross into the box, you know, Kemar Roof will deal with that accordingly, right? Good service into the box. Mikel Antonio can provide that out wide as well, right? He can even have Mikel playing in a front two and have Kemar Roof playing off Mikel, right? I mean, Mikel Antonio is such a versatile attacking option. That's another thing that I forgot to mention. He brings versatility to the Reggae Boys national team, right? He can play anywhere up front. As a matter of fact, Mikel Antonio has probably almost played everywhere on the park during his illustrious career, right? So, you know, that's another thing, the versatility, man. He can be deployed in so many positions. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, right? Could he be deployed more centrally and used, you know, as a traditional number 9 as well, right? Like, for instance, what we saw with Lukaku against the Arsenal, right? The amount of attention that Lukaku got, you know, when he was playing against Arsenal in the center of the park, right? Just on the edge of the penalty box, right? The amount of attention that he received, and hence the amount of space that he created out wide for the wide players, right? That's also something that we have to, you know, bear in mind as well, right? The physicality that he would bring to that traditional number 9 spot, right? Bullying defenders, right? Turning and shooting, you know, those sort of stuff we saw Lukaku doing against just dominating Arsenal's defense, right? Turn and taking on players, right? Coming deep, receiving the ball, running at the defense line, right? We all know Mikel Antonio is very good on the ball, right? Running at the defense line, and you know the problems that can cause for, you know, a defensive line and balancing a defensive line, right? And you know, bringing wide players into the game as well, right? The amount of attention that Mikel Antonio would receive, the amount of bullying, right? He would be putting on those Panamanian defenders and defenders in CONCACAF on a whole, right? The amount of attention he'll be drawing to himself, the amount of space he'll be creating, right? All around, you know, in the attacking third, four players, right? But especially wide players, you know, like what a Lukaku would have done for Chelsea against Arsenal, and of course, our wide men, you know, having more space to operate in can, you know, be very dangerous as well. And Mikel Antonio as well, we have to talk about his aerial ability, right? Him playing that traditional number 9 role, right? Waiting in the box for those crosses. We need to get a lot of crosses into the box for Mikel Antonio as well. He's very good in the air. He's very good aerially, getting on the end of those crosses, right? And it doesn't even have to be, you know, on his head. You know, there can be, you know, short crosses as well into the box. He's good at poaching as well, right? And obviously, you know, Mikel Antonio is expected to bring goals and bring assists, bring goal contributions to the national team. So, guys, you know, we eagerly anticipate the upcoming Mikel Antonio show. Hopefully, it will kickstart versus Panama, and it will kickstart very well with a goal and also our goals, goal contributions, and also a win versus Panama as well, right? So, guys, that's my 2 cents. Again, we're eagerly anticipating Mikel Antonio, right? Right now, currently in world-class form. Hopefully, we can see said world-class form against Panama come Sunday at the office in Jamaica. So, guys, take care. That's my 2 cents. And until next time.